Seven, six, five, four, three, two, one.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
What's going on, guys and gals? Welcome to the podcast, the YouTube video, the audio cast, whatever you want to call it. Feel free to call it whatever you'd like. The website is ThriveCrunch.com, and I want to get into some basketball. I want to get into some boxing news. I'm not ready to talk about football yet. I completely missed all the updates on the draft. I know Jameis Winston got picked up by Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they're going to try to keep him in check, make sure that he's on his P's and Q's and not embarrassing the state of Florida and the city of Tampa Bay, which is, I represent Florida. My hometown is Jacksonville. This move reminded me of, the whole Jameis Winston getting picked up by Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It reminded me of Fred Taylor getting picked up by the Jaguars and just pretty much devoting his career to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Most of you sports fans know that Fred Taylor was a Florida Gator, and he just kept it loyal and played for the Jacksonville Jaguars for most of his career before moving on to the New England Patriots. And sadly, whenever Fred Taylor was there, they did not win a Super Bowl. I guess I've been hiding under a rock, but 3 months ago, the Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon posted a video on YouTube. It was an interview between Jimmy Fallon and Nicole Kidman. Jimmy was interviewing Nicole Kidman. She has a movie coming out called Paddington. It's about a bear. It's CG, and I have no idea what it's about. I can't give you any more details on it. I can now elaborate on it, and I will not elaborate on it. But the bear has beautiful eyes, according to Nicole Kidman. So this video hit 28 million. Now I'm sharing, this with you, in case, because I just saw the video yesterday, and ever since then I've saw it multiple times. I'm not going to admit how many times I've seen it, more than 20, but yeah, it is absolutely, I guess, magical. There's obvious chemistry between the two. Yes, they're both married with kids, and it's really funny to watch. There is some awkwardness in there, but it is a good kind of awkward. Apparently, they went on a date years ago, maybe more than a decade ago. It was when Jimmy was like on SNL. Nicole Kidman was single at the time. They were both single, and Jimmy was he was called by a friend, and that friend, his name is Rick. Rick said, I'm going to have Nicole Kidman visit you or something like that, and they were going to talk about a movie or the job or something like that. But Nicole was kind of like interested in something romantic with Jimmy Fallon, but there was definitely some miscommunication there. And a lot of people on the YouTube comments are saying Rick was a horrible wingman. And some people were saying he was a great friend, because how many guys are going to bring Nicole Kidman to, bring them over to your place? You know what I mean? How many friends do you have like that? So maybe at the end of the day, probably Jimmy Fallon will admit it. He blew a chance to date Nicole Kidman, exclusively. And he probably thought she was out of his league, and he was trying to be, cordial and maybe professional and friendly and just keep it casual. I don't know. Maybe they could do a breakdown or something like that. I think there should definitely be a spin-off of this. Maybe they could have Rick back on the show. Well, he hasn't been on the show. Maybe they could have him on the show for the first time, and he could be interrogated, Law and Order style. And I think that they can also have each member of the band at the Roots share their experience. And on that night, what they were feeling, the tension, the awkwardness, and they could give like just a semi-serious testimony of what was going on between the two, who was doing more flirting, who was trying to control the conversation more, and how much fumbling of the words each person, committed. And maybe a couple of people from the audience can do the same thing. And that's my pitch. That's my business pitch to the Tonight Show. We all know that Jimmy Fallon doesn't ask the perfect questions all the time. He sometimes loses his train of thought, but nevertheless, he is the most entertaining host in the history of night shows, in my opinion. And I think that the guests that he has and the audience that he has absolutely does not mind if he's not the best interviewer in the world, as long as because his show is really about having a good time. And when he's having a good time with his guests and the band, the audience appreciates it at home, and the audience that's there watching it. I really am excited about going to the show one day and checking it out for myself. But in this particular interview, Jimmy really loses his train of thought, especially when he's talking about Keith Urban and the Niagara Falls. He actually asked her if she's ever been to Niagara Falls, and she had already implied that she had went to the Canada side instead of the New York side of Niagara Falls. And shortly after that, he asked, "So you've been to Niagara Falls?" And then he kind of plays it off as if she was stuttering and she was feeling some chemistry. I think that NBC, The Tonight Show, they could definitely elaborate more on this. They could make some shirts, one that says Rick is the worst wingman in the history of wingmen, or they could say they could have a shirt that says sweatpants, video games, cheese, really, Jimmy? Something like that, and maybe a few quotes from some of the stuff that Nicole Kidman said, who, by the way, is still absolutely aging gracefully. She is definitely beautiful and stunning. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and quit talking about this. We're going to move on to some boxing, some basketball. Before we move on to the next episode of the talk show, of the podcast, I want to go ahead and say, hey, Nicole Kidman, you are still beautiful. Dan Rafael, an established boxing writer, he reported that Manny Pacquiao is getting shoulder surgery. He re-injured it during the fight, and the doctor that's diagnosing him with significant torn rotator cuff is going to, give Manny Pacquiao guidance on what to do from here on the surgery, and he's gonna help him get healthier. But I am impressed with Dan Rafael's ability to not be drained on talking about the Pacquiao Mayweather fight. He's very professional. At this point, I would be tired. I would be tired of talking about the fight. I was tired of the discussion years ago, even when this fight manifested on paper. I was kind of numb to it. It was almost like, I made another video on the whole Pacquiao Mayweather debacle. You could probably check it out on this YouTube channel or on my blog, ThriveCrunch.com. Which, by the way, make sure you go to livecourtapparel.com. A lot of people want to get fit during the summer, and when you're trying to work out, sometimes what I'm wearing definitely makes a difference. And livecourtapparel.com has all kinds of excellent gym gear, fitness gear, gym clothes that makes your workout more productive, more effective. So go to livecoreapparel.com and use the promo code THRIVE. You'll get a 15% discount. And at the end of this podcast, there's going to be an outro. You could see an example of the singlet that I use when I work out. Now it's very, very comfortable, so you might be wearing it every day. So make sure you go ahead and check that out. And yeah, more on Shouldergate, which is what they're calling it now. I don't know if there's maybe weeks from now, maybe a month from now, 2 months from now, we'll hear talks about a potential rematch, but it's not likely. The shoulder surgery is going to keep Pacquiao out of the mix for about 9 to 10 months, which gives him a lot of time to promote his next fight and market his next fight. And here's the thing, even if customers do not buy, sports bars are going to buy pay-per-view, and people are going to go to the sports bars. It's just how many sports bars are going to buy a particular pay-per-view event. You know, I think a good majority of the people that bought the fight were business folks, because in the city where I'm in now, every single sports bar had the Mayweather Pacquiao fight playing, and I don't know too many people that actually ordered it. I feel bad for them if they did, because the fight was pretty much a stinker. We all know that there was some. I don't want to get into it. I'm burned out on it. So I want to get into basketball. Let's talk about basketball. But it's going to be a short conversation because I haven't been able to sit down and watch a game. I noticed that the Bulls beat the Cavs. Derrick Rose was looking good. He was he was making his jump shots. I think that's good that his jump shots on point, because I don't want to see him get injured again and again and again. He cuts hard when he penetrates to the hoop. He's cutting hard. He's hitting angles that has to be causing some wear and tear on his knees and ankles. Derrick Rose definitely reminds me of Fred Taylor a little bit. I just received some news that he hurt his shoulder. Oh my gosh, what's going on with shoulders these days? But it doesn't seem Kevin Love serious, or Manny Pacquiao serious. But D Rose hurt his shoulder during the game, but it probably helps that they won, and now we can focus on recovering and getting that shoulder better. Wow, guys in their 30s with shoulder problems, it's amazing. The only reason I said D Rose reminded me of Fred Taylor is Fred Taylor was loaded with talent, and towards the middle and end of his career, injuries started to plague his performances, and yeah, it's just part of the game, part of sports. Are you interested in starting your own vlogs or getting better at video blogging? Today, right now, you can start polishing your video blogging skills. The Vlogger's Journal can help you keep those creative juices flowing so that you have an endless amount of ideas and topics for your video blogs. Are you self-conscious about video blogging in public, in front of strangers, or even in front of your friends and family? The Vlogger's Journal, the Vlogger's Inner Circle, the Vlogger's VIP Vault is here to equip you with the confidence, mindset, skills, and techniques to be an elite vlogger and effectively deliver your brand and your message to the eyes, minds, and hearts of your viewers. Order and download the Vlogging Journal right now and get this exclusive limited time offer. Head over to the link below this video and start your vlogging adventure today. And we're back. If you are interested in giving me some ideas, some suggestions, giving me some comments, some feedback regarding the video intro for my future podcast, then go ahead and just leave a comment on my blog post, on my blog, ThriveCrunch.com, or on my YouTube channel here. Just leave a comment below and just let me know what ideas and suggestions you have. I may use the intro that I use for my workout channel and use that temporarily for now for this podcast, but not too sure about it. I do like the songs for, maintenance purposes or logistics, whatever you want to call it. I'm using audio that's offered through YouTube, and YouTube creators are allowed to use the music on YouTube.
Fingers down my side.